Timothy, put the kettle on. Inspiration. Inspiration.
Welcome to Timothy Put the Kettle On, where I, Sarah Kettel, and my co-host, Timothy R. Andrews, are talking hospitality, bringing you solutions to the issues we're facing and inspirational stories from the incredible people who make up our hospitality industry family. This podcast is shared on all major platforms, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Spotify, and it's marketed on social media. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Sarah. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Very good. Thank you very much. Welcome to another show.
It's Chinese New Year, and I love Chinese New Year. And we recently found out that we do have quite a lot of listeners in China, which is really lovely. So we'd like to wish them Gong He Fat Choi and
Xinyan Kuai.
And we wish you all a very prosperous and happy Year of the Ox. This week, we have an incredible guest with us. We're delighted to welcome Sally Beck, General Manager at Royal Lancaster Hotel London and founder and board member of Hoteliers Charter. Welcome, Sally.
Nice to see you.
Welcome to the show. Tell us your story. How did you get into hospitality and what was your career path?
Well, I was pretty much born and bred into the industry. I'm a fourth generation publican's daughter. So I didn't live in a house when I was about, 17. We've moved around the UK, various little pubs and hotels. And when it came to me deciding what to do, I suppose it was line of least resistance. It's what I knew. I'd bottled up before school. I'd done the pipes for the beer. I'd worked in the kitchen. I'd waitressed. I'd pot washed. I'd done all the stuff. So I went and did hotel catering and institution management, scraped a pass because I discovered boys. I'd been to a girls' boarding school. So. And then went and did a training course down at the Dormy in Ferndown, which is an event hotel, 4-star, under a great guy called Derek Silk, and worked for 2 years, worked around every department, kitchens, housekeeping, night credit, did the whole lot. And at the end of 2 years, I really had this bit of crisis of confidence, thinking, actually, I don't really want to do any of that because I'd just been doing it all my life. And Derek Silk gave me the chance to do sales. And that was my career, basically then stayed in sales and marketing with an operational background that I didn't really use, although it helps you in sales. And then from the Dormy, I traveled for a couple of years and then I went to Clipper Hotels and then I moved up to London, Great Western Royal, which is now the Hilton Paddington. And then I got approached from there to the Conrad in Chelsea Harbour. I was director of sales and marketing there. So to go from a knackered 3-star in Paddington to 5-star director Conrad was a slight leap, but that's another story. But yeah, so I did that. And then I was 3.5 years there. Then I went and did the reopening of the Royal Garden, which is so exciting.
I love that hotel.
Yeah, it was brilliant. And then I'm traveling for about 15 months with my husband, and then came back and took the Landmark as director of sales and marketing in January 2001 and stayed there until I was encouraged by my general manager and my MD to shift from the Landmark and to come to the Royal Lancaster as hotel manager, which I did to go back to my operational roots, thinking that I would learn from the GM for the next 2 years for taking over the GM role. But I started here in November 2012, beginning of, and he dumped his notice in end of November 2012.
Oh.
So I had 3 months as a hotel manager, and then from when he left in end of February, I was then acting GM of this 465 staff, 411 bedrooms, big events hotel, central London, about to go into a £40 million refurb.
In at the deep end, you could say, Sally.
Yeah, slightly.
My challenge.
I worked out it's not rocket science, took the job, and eventually it was £85 million refit. And I found my feet as a GM.
So you've actually got a very impressive career CV to date, and you have won a Katie. So for anyone who doesn't know what a Katie is, that's our hospitality Oscars. And you got Hotelier of the Year. And from the back of that, I believe you recently launched the Hoteliers Charter. What is the Hoteliers Charter and what are your aims for that?
I probably need to start as to that Hotelier of the Year award,
Mm-hmm.
which I was given in 2019. And it's voted by your peers. And I was blown away. No idea that you're even in this little august group. I got this award, which I was totally delighted about, and I needed to make an acceptance speech. So this award had been going for 37 years. And I just found myself thinking about how the industry is perceived and whether it had changed in those 37 years. And then I thought about a situation that had happened with my daughter, my eldest, when she was 15, and she wanted to come to our hotel and do work experience. And she'd got a mate of hers at her school that wanted to come too. 15, we all do work experience, for a week. So, I set up this, a couple of days in F&B, day in sales and marketing, revenue, front office, housekeeping, the whole 9 yards. And it was all very exciting. And then this girl's mum put a stop to it and said, no, why would I want her to be a servant?
Ooh, that must have hurt.
Yeah, I thought, oh my God, how far do we have to go that people don't see the amazing careers that can be had in hotels?
Yeah.
And it was then I think about the public perception, and I felt that a Hoteliers Charter was needed to shout about the good stuff that goes on in hotels, right, and in hospitality. I'm not saying that hotels are just the only brilliant ones. There's a ton of cracking restaurants, cracking bars that really do care about their staff. Mm-hmm. But there's a loud minority that think it's acceptable to behave badly. Basically, I did this big acceptance speech, and then the following day, I had the West London Hoteliers Association, which I'm a member of. There's many little hotel associations across the whole of the UK. And we just sat and talked about the fact that I had this opportunity to be noisy for a year as the Hotel of the Year. And I'm quite good at being noisy. And I thought, well, I should be noisy and we can make a Hoteliers Charter. We should say that we stand for good stuff, that we do apprenticeships, we train, we do have fair, transparent service charges. We advocate diversity, we advocate work-life balance. We support local charities and local communities. We support the Modern Slavery Act, and that we make sure our suppliers and do it all properly. Very few of us are on minimum wage. There's a quick succession in our industry, and they're not just 16, 17, 18-year-olds. I've got them in the 30s and the 40s. They're doing level 5s, etc. And there's career paths and succession planning.
I mean, well done you for using your voice as well, because I think once you get this opportunity, it can be quite easy to shy away and just think, well, I've said my piece in my acceptance speech. What you've done is you followed that through and you've made it real. So those words are translating into something which is, going to be very tangible for a lot of people. And I applaud you for that. It's incredible.
Thank you. Because of the pandemic, there isn't another Hotelier of the Year for 2020. So I've been asked to hold the baton. So I've got another year of being noisy. So
excellent.
Fantastic.
Yes. What an opportunity.
We're just launched. I'm really proud of what we've managed to put together. And it's all been done by a bunch of volunteer professionals, consultants that have literally come out of the woodwork and said, Sally, we love what you're doing. Can we help? The website's amazing. Customer communications doing the PR for me. Michael de Jong is doing the sort of the databasing and the structural setup of everything. And Adam and Amy from DHM have done sterling work on the website. So yeah, we're ready. We've got registered hotels, about 200, but I'm hoping that we'll swiftly get that up into the high hundreds or even 1,000 or so. UK Hospitality is supporting us. Kate's on the board. The AA are going to help us audit, and it's general manager led, because I believe it's the general manager that sets the culture of their property. Owning companies that own 20 hotels can't sign in. The 20 general managers can sign in. The owning company can become a champion and support, but it's the general manager that sets the culture, and it's the general manager that I hold responsible for taking care of their team. It will not take long before hospitality bounces back, And we need the UK employment to be strong. And we need UK parents, like that mother, young people and adults, to look at educators, careers advisors, to look at our industry and think, well, that's a cracking industry to go into. But then also know there's a body of employers who care. People, those young people or new people that are retraining to come into hospitality, to choose a charter hotelier, because the charter hotelier has those commitments to that work-life balance, to that culture of respect, etc., that's really good.
And it's interesting what you just said about the fact that there are lots of little small hotelier organizations and associations. I think it might be quite surprising to a lot of people that there isn't just one big one, or that the Hoteliers Charter didn't exist before now, but thankfully now it does. Why do you think everything was so segmented?
So many different chains, organizations, it used to be BHA, British Hospitality Association, and then there's the food associations, there's the brewery, there's, now it's all bunched together in UKH, which is great. So we at least now have one key body, and Kate Nichols has done a cracking job. But within there, hotels don't have a concise voice. And I don't want to be that voice. I just want it that the Hoteliers Charter creates some glue across the whole of the UK where that voice can actually hear up and down. So Kate was instrumental at helping me put the 10 commitments together, working with her government agenda. So we know that that's current, vibrant, and is what they're looking for. And then across the UK, on the website, I've put a map where we've linked all of the UK universities and colleges that do catering and hospitality courses. And then the hotels are populated across there. And then what I'm looking for then is that as the hoteliers join, say like there's a hotel in Newbury that joins, and he then says, and he sees on the map the local hotels that are like-minded in his region. And they will have a Newbury Hoteliers Association. I can tell you now they will have one. Mm-hmm. I don't know where it is, and I don't know who runs it.
Right.
But through the Hoteliers Charter, we'll find it. It's like right now in London, I'm in West London, there's West One, there's East One, there's Heathrow, there's all sorts. But they're self-driven by like-minded hotels in their regions. In Manchester, Adrian Ellis, who's a board member, he has the Manchester one and the Northern region. There's 200 hoteliers in that association. So if Kate wants to communicate to the hoteliers, in one hit, she can do it through the Charter network.
Brilliant.
And if the Charter network wants to communicate to Kate, it all can be done. And then across there, you've got the branches of UKH and you've got branches of the Institute of Hospitality. So you've got the educators, the Institute, the association, the hoteliers, and hopefully the hoteliers will then work with their local schools and colleges to start changing perceptions and work on local community things that really matter.
So if you're a hotelier listening to this and they would think, oh, I'd like to get involved, what would they need to do?
They would go to hotelierscharter.com and they would click on Become a Charter Hotelier, and they would literally fill out their details, click send, and they would get approved.
And there's really never been a better time to do this, because I think awareness across the whole population now of groups that are in need, which are within our own communities, is so much bigger. There is that awareness that maybe wasn't there a year ago. Now
is the best time to do it. Like, we haven't been this low in our lifetimes, and I don't even if in recorded history, perhaps. What a time to rebuild. What a time to actually put hospitality on the map as a proper career that it is.
Yeah, I feel like it really is the phoenix that's going to rise from these ashes.
I'm a publican's daughter from Scunthorpe, who's running one of the best hotels in London. Barely a qualification to point a stick at. I've travelled all over the world within hospitality and had a cracking time. And the world's my oyster. If I wanted to, my husband's Australian, if he wanted to go to Australia and run a hotel, I probably could. And in hotels, we can offer 24/7 work, which means we can recruit the hard to recruit. The working mothers or people that need to work night shifts because they're balancing. I've got lots of team members that are balancing family lives. We can offer those 24-hour shifts, that whole night to routine that not every industry can. So for people that are either studying, young families, or all the retired that want to come down and just do some switchboard work, we can do that. So it's about advertising the fact that we are a really creative employer, and it's not just housekeeping, finance, engineering. I've got carpenters, painters, air conditioning technicians, wood polishers, of seamstresses and salespeople. And we're like a little microcosm of the world in a hotel. We have something for everybody. And that's before you get into the chefs and the food and beverage and the finance and all the rest of it and the HRs. You got all of it here. But people don't think of that. We just need to educate.
Absolutely. People, it's not just, I hate using the word just, it's not just being a chef or a waiter. It's everything much, and it's so much more. It's an incredible industry. What advice would you give to anyone considering a career in hospitality right now?
I would say stay with it. I think in the press, it talks about hospitality being closed and on its knees and, all this sort of stuff. Stay with it. This industry is vibrant. When we open up, the countryside will be more buoyant than the cities. So look for a job where the business is. Find yourself a mentor. There's people like me. There's a ton of people in our industry, master inn holders, St. Julian scholars. Find yourself a mentor that can help you stay on track and get as much experience as you can. This industry will bounce back with a vengeance, and it's good fun. It's really, really, really good fun. No day is the same.
That's some great advice. Quick fire round. We've introduced a little quick fire round so that our listeners can get to know you a little bit better, Sally. So the rules of the game are quite simple. We ask you a question and you've got to say the first thing that pops into your head.
Okay.
Okay. What's the first concert you attended?
I can't remember, but I can tell you the one that stays with me is Bruce Springsteen.
What was your favourite subject in school?
Lacrosse, I was pretty good at it.
Knowing what you know now, what advice would you give your 18-year-old self?
Be more confident. Believe in yourself.
What makes you feel uneasy?
Negative atmospheres where I'm not sure where it's coming from.
If you could buy any type of food right now, what would you buy?
A really nice, amazing barrel of beef. I've got 2 vegans and a vegetarian at home and I'm hanging out for a piece of meat.
Are you a morning person or a night person?
I'm a bit of both.
What is the most delightful word you can think of?
Flange. Flanges and pipes. Engineering porn.
What's your weapon of choice?
I'm not really an aggressive person, so I'd say a hug.
Oh, I like that.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Is a burger a sandwich?
No.
Salad cream or mayo?
Mayo.
Cheese on toast or cheese toasty?
Cheese on toast?
Pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
No.
And that is it. You're off the hook, Sally. Yay.
Thank you both very much indeed.
Yeah, likewise.
Thank you, Sally.
Take
It's
care.
lovely to see you.
Bye now. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Please share, subscribe and like. We look forward to you joining us in the next episode of Timothy, Put the Kettle On, available on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play and YouTube.
Timothy, put the kettle on.